We're going to give it 1 minute for everyone to get in here, and then we are going to get on. Actually, no, we're at 11 o'clock. So I guess we're going to get started now. So, good morning, everyone. Happy Black History Month. Happy Tuesday. Happy short week. Happy, happy, happy. We are really excited to be here today to talk about contracting opportunities with the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. My name is Marquita Thomas, and I'm the founding president and CEO of the California LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. As I mentioned, we're very excited about today's webinar with the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission, and Simona and I were just talking. This marks the 4-year anniversary of the first time I connected you all with the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. That time was for the Super Bowl that was here in Los Angeles, and Simona is going to talk to you about the next Super Bowl and some other major events that are coming to Los Angeles. So this is going to be a really, really great webinar. Before we dive in, I'm going to take a moment to talk to you about the California LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce, and then I'm going to hat tip it over to Simona. It'll just be a couple of minutes. A little housekeeping. At the bottom of your screen, you should see a Q&A option. Please put your questions there. This way, that ensures that your questions do not get lost in the chat and that we can address all of your questions. And for those of you who are members, you'll be able to get the slides and the recording on our new calrainbowchamber.org website. So let's get started. Okay, maybe not that. Maybe I'll just do this. All right. So the California LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce is a statewide business association dedicated to fostering LGBTQ economic development, inclusion, and success. But we are more than just a chamber. We are a movement that advocates for economic equality, fights for access to corporate and government contracts, and ensures LGBTQ plus businesses can thrive. LGBTQ plus businesses are a major economic force, but our businesses still need support. There are an estimated 300,000 plus LGBTQ owned businesses in California. Across the nation, we contribute $1.7 trillion to the US economy, and supplier diversity opens doors to billions of dollars in contracts. However, our businesses still struggle with funding, visibility, and access to corporate supply chains, and that's where we come in. The California LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce makes sure that LGBTQ businesses don't just exist, but that they grow, thrive, and lead. We provide advocacy that opens doors. We fight for LGBTQ plus businesses in procurement and policy. Many of you know that I lobbied for several years for LGBTBE inclusion in the city of Los Angeles and the county of Los Angeles, and I was part of the rulemaking process for the LGBTBE spend in General Order 156, which is with the utilities, and we ended up with a 1.5% win, which in real numbers is $600 million, which is very, very exciting. We also provide connections that build wealth with corporate partners, supplier diversity representatives, and we provide lots of impactful networking, not just with those corporate entities, no supplier diversity representatives, but also with local electeds and statewide electeds as well. And we provide resources that help you scale with certification assistance, funding, access, and mentorship. We are part of a SCALE network, which is through the governor's office. So wherever you are in your entrepreneurial journey, whatever resources you need, please let us know and we will connect you to those resources. Your business deserves a seat at the table. Every business owner in this room deserves a seat at the table when it comes to economic opportunity, and that's why we provide exclusive technical assistance and certification support, high impact networking and growth opportunities, and inclusive procurement events and opportunities. We ensure that LGBTQ plus businesses have the resources, connections, and visibility to compete for major contracts and economic opportunities. So if you're a business owner, the best time to get involved is now and gain access to everything that I outlined, those business resources, those connections to corporate partners and government agencies. And you can be part of our growing network of LGBTQ plus business leaders. Your support helps us continue to do programs like this, and we hope that you will join us. We have lots of really wonderful events in procurement, but also social events like our really amazing Pride event that we had at Sony Pictures. We had over 500 people there. Obviously, couldn't get everybody in one picture, but there's a little snapshot there. And hope that you will continue to support us in our efforts to help you grow your business. We have a QR code there if you would like to join us, and that will take you to our new website that we're very excited about, the calrainbowchamber.org. So, speaking of events, we've got a couple of upcoming events. This Thursday, we have our Out for Business networking event at the LGBTQ owned Ore Bar. And if you join before Thursday, you'll be eligible for a free member ticket. On March 18th, we have our LGBTQ networking mega mixer at the Sofitel. If you missed it last year, you missed an incredible event. So do not miss it this year. We'll also be providing continuing education courses. We're going to have our LGBTQ certification summit again this year, and you can look for other procurement programming, including doing business with utilities, the state of California, the city of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles, and more. So you can follow us on Eventbrite to get notifications about those events, or you can follow us at our, like I mentioned, brand new website, calrainbowchamber.org. So join us, and together we create wealth, opportunities, and a stronger LGBTQ plus business community. And that's everything that I have for you. I am now going to introduce you to the amazing Simona Caldwell, who is going to talk to you about the contracting opportunities with the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. Simona Caldwell is the director of the Business Connect program with the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. As director, Simona's primary role is to continue to grow and develop LASEC's signature supplier diversity initiative known as Business Connect. She manages relationships with external and internal stakeholders, major event partners, suppliers, community members, and city and county leadership. Simona recently embarked on this new career journey in September 2023. Prior to that, she was a public relations and government affairs coordinator with State Farm Insurance for 21 years for Los Angeles and Nevada. Mrs. Caldwell serves as an advisory board member for the Brotherhood Crusade and board member for Essentia Homeless Services, the Signal Hill Police Foundation, Executive Services Corps of Southern California, and serves as Educate California's board chair, which is amazing. Simona holds a citywide position with the Diversity Coalition Committee in Signal Hill, California. She's a member of the Public Relations Society of America and an alum of Leadership California 2022 and the University of California, Davis. Simona enjoys working out, reading, and enjoying time with her family and friends. She is married and lives in Signal Hill with her husband, two teenagers, and a Labradoodle named Drew. Everyone, please welcome Simona Caldwell.
Hi, good morning, Cal Rainbow Chamber. Thanks for having me today. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers. And I do have to correct my bio because one of my teenagers has since turned 20. So I have one teenager and now a 20-year-old. So yeah, exciting times. I want to thank you all for taking the time to learn more about the Los Angeles Sports Entertainment Commission and Business Connect. Please note in no way am I being exclusive because procurement opportunities within the sports and entertainment industries are available and open to everyone. Our program, though, focuses on a specific niche as it relates to procurement, and I'll get into that a little bit later. The main goal, of course, of any business entering the space is to be prepared. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I'm sure this is a common theme you've heard, whether it be working with local businesses, organizations like the Cal Rainbow Chamber or any other state or county resource. We all want you to position your business for as many opportunities as possible and to be successful. Next slide, please. So before we talk about Business Connect, I wanted to share some information about the Los Angeles Sports Entertainment Commission, otherwise known as LASCC. Many folks are not aware that for over 25 years, this organization has been instrumental in bringing some of the world's most renowned sports and entertainment events to our city. There's no other organization in Los Angeles that specifically focuses on driving economic and community impact through bidding on, securing, and hosting major high-profile sporting and entertainment events. LASCC is a 501c3 California nonprofit benefit corporation. And so LASCC actively engages with local diverse suppliers to maximize procurement opportunities in partnership with these high profile events through our program, as mentioned before, Business Connect. Next slide, please. So, as I'm sure you've heard, there are a few major events coming to LA within the next 4 years. Los Angeles, we are well into a decade, unlike any other, in which major events, including Super Bowl 56, 2022 MLB All-Star Game, 2023 College Football Playoff National Championship, WrestleMania, and the 123rd U.S. Open Championship, they've already generated more than $1 billion in economic and community impact for the Los Angeles region. So now we look ahead. We're even now approaching another stretch of even more major sports events than any other destination. So in 2026, we have NBA All-Star, U.S. Women's Golf Open, of course, FIFA World Cup will be the first one, Super Bowl 61 in 2027, and that'll be our second Super Bowl in Los Angeles in 5 years, and the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games. So before we go into about Business Connect, I want to share a little bit about the economic impact of these events. So the U.S. Women's Open Championship, previous events have delivered between 25 and 35 million in economic impact for those cities. You have the NBA All-Star Game in 2026, which is projected to generate more than 350 million in economic and media impact also for Inglewood and the greater Los Angeles area. And that's according to Temple University Sports Industry Research Center. Then, of course, you have FIFA World Cup. We're all gearing up. That's going to be the first one again, projected to generate 594 million in economic impact to Los Angeles County. And that's made up of 343 million in direct spending by World Cup visitors. I'll say that again. 343 million in direct spending by World Cup visitors and 251 million in follow-up spending. And that's according to a recent report issued by Micronomics Economic Research and Consulting. Then we have Super Bowl 61. The impact from Super Bowl 56 in 2022 delivered up to 477 million. So I'm sure we're going to be well beyond $500 million for this upcoming Super Bowl. So combine the projections for these upcoming major events will add another 1 billion in additional economic impact for the Los Angeles region, again, just this decade. And that's not even including the Olympics. So we're super excited about what's to come. And so again, these events present many opportunities for local diverse businesses. And just as the athletes and others prepare for these upcoming events, you as local businesses must do the same to be competitive in your business discipline. Next slide, please. So a little bit about Business Connect. This program was initially a signature program of the NFL Events Department, which was designed to build a direct procurement link between experienced local diverse businesses and NFL special event vendors and event producers. So as a part of Super Bowl 56, the efforts for that game, LASCC first launched Business Connect in October 2020, which Marquita referred to earlier, to help businesses prepare to bid on opportunities for the event. So given its success, legacy, and impact, LASCC requested and received permission from the NFL to implement an independently LA-based Business Connect program to support future sports and entertainment events in Los Angeles. With the program, we've had over $5.8 million in contracts just from Super Bowl 56 alone, and then close to $7 million once we added the other events I mentioned previously. So Business Connect, we support minority, women, LGBTQIA+, persons with disabilities, and veteran-owned businesses through professional development sessions, networking events, pitch days, and access to subcontract opportunities and more. So our program is a nationally recognized supplier diversity initiative with 9 years of industry experience and a successful record in securing contracts for local diverse subcontractors, across 17 markets nationwide, again, initially with the NFL. So we specialize in event production since these are the disciplines primes need for these high profile events. There are approximately 30 to 35 disciplines, and examples include AV, tenting, floral, furniture, catering, which we'll dive into shortly. Next slide, please. So about the demographics of our program, we have approximately 200 suppliers, and that's again focused on event production. And our demographics make up the following. So you see that we have 79% minority owned, 57% women owned, 9% LGBTQIA plus owned, and 6% veteran owned. And we're trying to get, of course, those two bottom numbers up, as well as include more persons with disability businesses. Next slide, please. So to be invited to apply for the Business Connect program, you must be an experienced local diverse supplier with the capacity to meet the subcontracting needs, of LASEC event partners such as the NFL, MLB, NBA, FIFA, and the Olympics. Both LASEC and our major event partners all require certification as requirement for participation in their supplier diversity programs, hence why we require it for ours. So to confirm, we define diverse as any company that is owned by a woman, minority, LGBTQI plus persons with disability or veteran. It's important to LASEC that our workplace and the companies that we do business with have access to a workforce that is inclusive and representative of the state of California and Los Angeles. Our teams, both internal and external, welcome people of diverse backgrounds and national origins, all gender identities across all socioeconomic statuses. So our vetting process is a multi-step verification process that has worked successfully in the 17 markets that we've worked in. The system we currently use is customized to identify the capacity, business acumen, and expertise of each company under consideration. Our team is trained to confirm the diverse ownership and financial viability of each applicant. So next slide, please. So Business Connect follows federal guidelines on certifications. We accept the big five and select local, city, and state certifications as well. If you are not currently certified, now is the time to do so. I encourage you to talk to your local chambers, the Cal Rainbow Chamber, and business organizations to research your business resources available to see if they can assist you with getting certified. So just as a side note, found this out today. Some organizations like the NFL through their program, it's called the NFL Source. It's a new program they have. They only accept the big five certifications and possibly certification through the airport or LAWA here in LA. So I'll be sure to share that information with Marquito once confirmed. But some other entities may take, the local city certifications as well. So again, more information should be provided. Next slide. So earlier I mentioned our program works with businesses in event production. The current slide lists the most requested and typical business disciplines under event production. And these are utilized by our event partners producing these premier sports entertainment events. In Business Connect, we were designed to scale in size and scope and have built relationships in Los Angeles with the chamber here, the Cal Rainbow Chamber, that will easily allow us to add new suppliers to our existing disciplines and create new service and product lines as needed to meet the subcontracting needs of our event partners. So now look, I know these may not be all the disciplines needed or the only ones needed, and I'm sure there will be more to come. But I just wanted to give you an example of the procurement process when working with sports and entertainment events. And so we continue to work with the venues, primes, and events to determine their event production needs. So for our program, we're calling it Business Connect 2.0. I'm also searching for other opportunities outside of the larger high-profile events to maintain some level of consistency of opportunities for our suppliers in the program. So here's the thing. Everybody's got a guy. I got a guy already that does this. I got a guy that does that already. And so we are working to hopefully circumvent this and encourage our event partners to use local, small, diverse businesses for their subcontracting needs. Next slide. So listed here are a few major events our suppliers were participants in with remarkable success. As a result, about 25% of our suppliers have been asked to take on additional projects and given other opportunities with clients we've introduced them to through the program. And so, we tell them to work, work your network. And we make sure we give our Business Connect suppliers an opportunity to do so. And they've done a fantastic job. And I, of course, encourage you all to do the same. Some of our suppliers have become the go-to business for several venues and events, including Super Bowl 22, of course, which brought Business Connect to Los Angeles, college football, playoff championships, which was hugely successful for our suppliers. WrestleMania. They also worked on the Grammy Awards, BET Awards, ESPYs, and the U.S. Open Championships. Again, all these events for which our Business Connect suppliers were contracted because of their connections and experience with working with our program. So as of late, we have received and are currently vetting about over 200 businesses. Our interest form submission period is currently closed, but it will reopen by mid-second quarter. So I'll make sure that I'll keep, again, Marquita apprised of that information once we reopen it so you all can submit your interest forms if you're eligible. So again, speaking of that, please review the disciplines on our website. I'll include it in the chat if needed. But if your business does not fit or you're not eligible, there's no need for you to complete the form. But if you do have any questions and are interested to have a conversation, please feel free to reach out to me. I will tell you, going through some of the 200 interest forms that we've received, and got one for Pilates, love Pilates. Haven't received a request for that, but if we do, we keep that business on the side so we do know a business. So even though it may not fit, we do still keep the list of businesses that completed their interest form in case something comes up that fits. Next slide, please. So this is a question that I get all the time. So how do you position yourself to be competitive? Well, there are a number of things that you can do. First, you got to do some research and preparation, right? So if you have the opportunity, go to the event pages. So go to the FIFA host city website. I'll put that in the chat as well. NBA, go check out the NFL source link for their procurement program. Research the event pages to stay current on their procurement opportunities. Sign up for their list. If they send out an email list or portal, if they have one for businesses. It's very important so you can stay abreast of what's going on and when those opportunities may come about. Also, you have capacity. I say this and I mean it with all the most sincerity that I have. These are big events, so they're looking for businesses to have the capacity both financially and for products, goods, and services. So I always give this example about a crew feed. So if you're a catering company and they're requesting you to do a crew feed for 3 weeks, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you got to make sure you're able to do that and to take care of your business, right? And so what if 1 week the apples that you were going to put in the lunch don't come in? Do you have the monetary capacity to go to the farmer's market or wherever and buy more apples to put in there until you're able to be replenished? Is that going to break the bank? And usually, you might get a deposit when some of these contracts are first signed, but depending on how they set payments, you may not get a payment until a month later. So you just got to make sure that you have the financial capacity for your products again and your goods, just to make sure that you can handle that. Another example I give is like a rental chair company. So one company said, "Oh, I need 500 white folding chairs." Okay, so do you have 500? If not, do you have another company that you can work with that may have 200? You guys can go in together. So think of those opportunities and how they come about as far as your capacity is concerned. Certification, we talked about that. So again, work with your local business organizations and chambers to get the resources you need to become certified. I know sometimes they can get costly, so whatever programs you can find to help provide assistance monetarily for that, please take advantage of that. The other thing is insurance. She mentioned earlier that I used to work for State Farm, so insurance is my background. It's super duper important. The question I would ask you right now is, can you get $1 to $2 million in liability insurance or workers' comp from your agent or your broker right now? If they can't do that for you, can you go to someone that will or is able to provide that for you? I think that's very important. I know just for our LASEC events, we have 2 big events in the year. It's called Lakers All Access and Dodgers All Access. And even for the suppliers that participate, the event and the venues are requiring that our folks have at least $1 to $2 million in liability insurance. And so we try to work with them on that dollar amount, but that's what they're looking for. Another thing that's coming up with FIFA, I want you to all understand, is they have a huge human rights and sustainability campaign. So they will be looking at key performance indicators such as sustainability training, community engagement, sustainability certifications, waste management practices, customer satisfaction scores, all of that. They'll also be looking at environmental responsibility, sustainable resource use, zero waste economy, and long-term impact assessments and the community benefits thereof. They want to make sure that they're leaving a positive legacy on the cities in which they're hosting. And so that's one of the things that's really huge this year. We're looking at FIFA. I just had to finish a report about procurement as it relates to sustainability and human rights. So yeah, they're going to be like, they might do a site visit. So there's all kind of things that may be involved if you're, if you get a contract with FIFA, I'll just say, or one of their partners. The other thing is build your brand, of course, and leverage your social media presence. You guys are probably doing that now, but I can't stress to you how important it is because there's some people that have submitted interest forms where our team goes to the website and we can't even tell what they do. We have to click and click and click before we go, oh, this is what they do. They may have pictures and other things, but just make sure that your website and media marketing are professional. I can tell what you do if I look at your website, your contact information is up to date, and you have your capability statement and or deck ready to go. Especially the contact number is super important because we've had folks or some of our event partners that have reached out some of the suppliers based on either the number they have on their website or the one that I gave to them and they don't pick up. And so if they don't pick up after the first couple calls, guess what? They're going to go to the next company. So make sure that whatever number you have on your website, someone is answering. And then two, what can you do to make your business stand out from the others in your particular discipline? I give the example with FIFA, like it's soccer. So how can you throw soccer of anything into the mix for your business so then you get that visibility on your business or on your website? Remember, there's going to be a lot of money. I think 394 million, I said earlier. That's going to be from people that are visitors for FIFA. Those are the visitors coming. So there's many opportunities around for you all to take advantage of that monetary and economic impact. Networking and partnerships. Again, build connections with other businesses, sponsors, and stakeholders involved with these events. A collaboration is key. Again, I'm on a committee for LA 28 as well. We continue to have this conversation about what it looks like for our local businesses to collaborate because, again, you may have one that furniture rental company where they only have 200 chairs, another company has 200. Can you all collaborate again for the greater good of the event and get visibility for both businesses and collaborate that way? So lots of opportunity, I'm sure, for that as well. Just a few success stories. There's one of our suppliers, speaking of furniture, Vitality Furniture. She has furniture in Intuit Dome and Crypto.com. I know we have Girl Squad. They've done a lot of work for Super Bowl, and they continue to do work for LASEC, and they're just out and about doing some great work. Jive Live, he's done some work with Intuit Dome in Hollywood Park. Our Delectables, one of our dessert companies, they're at the Marriott, they're in Costco now, and they've done the VIP, I think, Super Bowl. And then Doolin's, a good soul food restaurant out there in LA, they received a contract with the Intuit Dome to feed the contractors while building the dome. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be the event, but if you do have an opportunity to get some visibility, the opportunities are endless from there. And there's one off here. Lastly, Brightworks received a contract for janitorial services for Super Bowl 56, and now she's the janitorial management person for the Prime On Location, a vendor with the NFL to oversee and manage all of the other janitorial services that work the other Super Bowl subsequently from SB 56. So lots of opportunity there. Real quickly, the common pitfalls though. Please, whatever you do, do not overcommit. Don't apply for the bid if you're unable to deliver. The last thing that you want to do is apply for something and then it falls, on the wayside, and then your business has little mark. And so you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that if you can't do it, if you can't collaborate, just try not to. But I will say that if there are questions, please ask for clarity when needed. I know it's a lot of mumbo jumbo, some stuff with these contracts or these RFPs or EOIs, expressions of interest. Just make sure that if you have any questions, you ask, so then you're clear on what you need to do in order to submit a strong bid. And do your homework. Research what they're asking for. What is it going to be for? Is it going to be for the actual event? Is it a side event? Is it a VIP event or a chairman circle event? Just so you understand what you need to do to be successful regarding an opportunity. You can't use a cookie cutter approach for these bids, so make sure that you please cater the bid to their needs and be honest again and clear about what you can provide. Before I close, I just want to share some information about LA28. I know my good friend and colleague Eric Aldridge probably will grace your presence at some point, but I did get the okay to share some information about LA28. And they are also committed to collaborating on business pathways and creating equity in their procurement system to deliver their world-class mega event. And to assist businesses, LA28 has shared a list of spend categories needed to plan and deliver the games. And I'll make sure that Marquita has that list to share. And so they will also be looking to hire certified local businesses, small businesses, and businesses owned by underrepresented groups to support the planning and delivery of the Olympic and Paralympic Games. And some of those things include like ceremonies and events, human resources, construction and contracting, impact. Marquita, you can find out what that means a little later. Corporate administration, marketing and communications, facilities management, tech, food, beverage, and accommodation, transportation and logistics, and games operations. So I will share this list with Marquita, and again, I'm sure she'll connect with Eric to have a deeper conversation. The procurement team at LA28 will follow up again with you all in the future regarding upcoming opportunities. So again, my mantra is please prepare and stay ready so you don't have to get ready last minute. Next slide, please. So I am your contact with the Business Connect program, and my information is listed on the slide here. Please call or email if you have any questions about the program or how to get involved. I'm always willing to have a conversation or figure out how I can help in any way, even if you can't be a part of the program. If you click on the QR code, it would take you to the Business Connect webpage on our LASCC website where you can find the information I discussed today, as well as a little video that gives you a little insight into our program. And look, I just want to share with y'all, I'm an advocate for local, small, diverse businesses, and I want to see you all thrive and have access to opportunities you normally wouldn't have, especially in our new normal. It's going to take a village, and I'm part of that village, and we'll share again with Marquita the subcontracting opportunities, especially for FIFA when they come available, so you all have access to that. So again, I sincerely appreciate being invited here today, and thanks again for having me. And so now we will open it up for Q&A and go to the next slide. Marquita, if you're good with that.
Simona, thank you so much. That was very thorough and really, really appreciate not just the information, but you for being such a staunch advocate of minority contracting. And thank you to both you and LASCC for walking the talk when it comes to minority contracting and really helping our businesses get connected to these incredible opportunities. A couple things. I know I said earlier to put your questions in the Q&A, but I have been clicking on this button the entire time Simona has been speaking, and unfortunately those questions are not coming up, so I do apologize. If you could, in fact, put those in the chat, I would appreciate it. Also, there are a lot of people in this webinar. There are a lot of people, and I'm not seeing enough of you talking about your businesses in the chat. So take the opportunity to do that. But I did see a question earlier. Someone asked if they started their business in 2023, does that make them ineligible for the opportunities to work with LASCC?
Well, we want them to be in business at least 3.5 to 4 years, so that will give them, a stake in the game as far as experience as it relates to some of the high profile events. But depending on what you've already done, again, we can have a conversation about it. And here's the deal: we're not like super strict on everything, but if you've had experiences working with, crypto.com or one of those type of bigger organizations, and but you've only been in business for 2.5. I had one guy say, I'm a month short of three 3 years. I said, it's fine. Submit your paperwork and we'll take a look at it. And we can have a deeper conversation. But yeah, at least we'd like to see 3.5 to 4 years.
Okay, also, I apologize if I wasn't clear. What I was saying is the Q&A section that I asked you to put questions in, I'm not able to access it. So instead, put it right here in the chat, where I can see, because I see some people added some questions there. So if you could just kind of transfer those over to the chat, I'll be able to see them and get them to Simona. So there's a question here. Someone says that they responded to the website several months ago, but have not received any follow-up. Did they miss something, or is there something coming up for people who filled out the form to be part of the first soft vetting? What's next for them?
Yes, so apologies for that. We were trying to do some things at the end of last year, but again, not knowing what our event partners actually needed, we didn't want to jump the gun and just start adding people to add people. And the thing that we're trying to prevent is adding like 200 businesses and then of course not having the opportunities for you all. So because the last thing we want to hear is someone say, I didn't try the program and I didn't get anything or no no resource anything. So we're trying to be very strategic about it. So if you did complete a form, we are vetting. Again, we had over 200 interest forms that we're looking at. I will tell you, there are lots of folks that are in event production. That's the toughest one that we're having to kind of vet because you already are work. So the NFL, FIFA, they're already working with an event production company or a prime. So we're trying to figure out what can our businesses do with those primes, whether it be to get a little bit of experience, but we just don't want it to be, where it's not worth your time or, we're trying to figure it out. So you should hear something from us probably within the next, I would say, month and a half at the latest. Again, we're soft betting and still having conversations with people. We just got a list yesterday saying, hey, here's some more things that we need. So again, looking at that list compared to what we have, we're backfilling in areas and seeing who has submitted the form. So please don't fret. If you want to talk about it or if you want to just put your name in the top of my head, you can send me an email and say, hey, Simona, I saw you on this thing and I want to know what's going on with my form. I can let you know. Not a problem at all. Like I said, there's over 200, so we're getting through them slowly but surely. And thank you for your patience. I sincerely appreciate it.
There is a question from someone who feels like there's a lot of platforms, and there are a lot of platforms. This is very true. This person says that they are signed up for, they are a certified supplier through NGLCC, fantastic. And the supplier clearinghouse, amazing. The supplier clearinghouse is specific to utilities. The NGLCC is a national certification that you can use to put on, things like LA Ramp. And I see that you're in the process of getting your ramp profile fixed. And now they're asking, there's LASEC as well. Is LASEC using Ramp LA for suppliers, or it has its own portal? It does, you have your own portal, correct? But
Yeah,
it's
we have our own
both,
program,
right?
Business Connect, but I do suggest that you get on as many portals as you can because, for example, BAM Production, they probably are not just, they're not working with just Business Connect. They may be going to Ramp, they may be going to some of the other business organizations in Los Angeles to look for local diverse small businesses. So I encourage my own suppliers, get on all of the platforms because you never know who's going to tap into where. And I know too, I've talked to Ramp. And so we're coming up with the plan of what we're going to do for folks who are in event production to pull from their list as well. So we're all talking and collaborating. Again, we're just a little bit different just because our specialization is in event production.
Right, right, right. And also, so yes, it's important to be on as many portals as possible, and join as many groups as possible, and support the ones that bring you valuable information and get you connected to the different opportunities. So there's a question. We are participants for Super Bowl 56 with Business Connect. Fantastic. They said that they have not heard anything further from Business Connect. Do we need to maintain interest? You answered that earlier, or do you feel like there's,
No, I have a list of businesses who I have reached out to, and I know that some of them have come back and said my email went to their spam folder. So, Alan, if you want to email me directly and let me know what business you're in, we can make sure you're getting my stuff because I've been sending out a whole bunch of stuff since I started. So we got to make sure that you're on the distribution list. So yeah, we sent out a newsletter. We just had an open office hours. I send out some information about opportunities with BAM, the production team. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that's been going out. So please reach out to me.
Okay. I know that there were more questions. I'm just trying to scroll,
Oh,
scroll,
good.
scroll. And I do apologize. I don't know why that Q&A thing wasn't working. So, technology. Um, it's very difficult to answer questions about specific services. Simona, I don't want to, I'm afraid of opening the floodgates of, do you need my specific services? How do you feel about that?
I saw that one for a mental health provider. It doesn't fall under event production, but I will make sure that I get your information from Marquita if I need it, if you're a member. Like I said, again, we still keep the list of businesses just in case, because you never know what someone might need. I mean, event production, I was sharing with Marquita beforehand that Glam came up, from one of the production companies. And, Glam's not, generally something in event production, but because they requested it, now we're asking for it. So, yeah, it may come up. You never know. But if it does, I'll make sure I'll let you know.
There's a question. Someone is between websites. Does their website need to be completed before submitting?
I would say yes, because that's the first thing the team looks at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
They click on the website. I mean, I just looked, someone sent me an email the other day and had their link to their website, but the website wasn't finished, but it had me go to some other folder that had pictures. And here's the deal. The people who are looking at these things don't have the time to do it. Hence why we love Business Connect, because we've already vetted, we've already done all this stuff. So when someone goes into our portal to find a business, they know that we've already done all that work. So unless, even if you're on Ramp, there's 40,000 businesses on Ramp. But if in your specific discipline they're looking for, we'll just say a mental health provider. If I go to your website and we're going to be able to see what you do, give you a call on that contact number and you pick up. That's the most important thing, because they want to talk to someone when they call or shortly thereafter. I mean, we try to do a 24-hour turnaround when someone has a request for business connect.
okay. I'm not seeing a lot more questions here. I would again encourage you all to utilize the chat to connect with one another. We have so many people here. And if you're shy, I understand. Just put your website in there with a little blurb of what industry you're in. So, you never know, you might connect with somebody who is in the chat. I saw a couple of connections happening in the chat. Do you recommend that a small law firm get certified when the law firm serves LGBT and non-LGBT? Some clients are very conservative. How would certification benefit a small law firm? Um, that is a question that so the certification is about the ownership of the business, not necessarily who the business serves. So you don't have to service majority LGBTQ people in order to be LGBTQ. The benefits are, as we outlined earlier, it's access to opportunities, to technical assistance, to some mentorship, and matchmaking. Ultimately, you know best how certification will benefit your law firm. If you feel that there are corporations or government agencies that would need to contract with you, then it would make sense for your business. But ultimately, that's going to be a decision that you make for your business. Let's see. Yes, and there's a connection right there. Danielle, fantastic. I love to see it. So are there any other questions? We have a good bit of time. We really want to see you all connect with these opportunities. Simona, is there an opportunity, or will LASEC be providing an opportunity for businesses to connect with primes? So you contract with someone, is there an opportunity for people to find out who those primes are and see if they might be able to work on a subcontracting opportunity.
And yeah, I don't know that for sure. I know, again, we are not the only entity that they'll be reaching out to look for local diverse businesses, again, because we only just do event production. So I know that even like, for example, for band production, they were doing the initial build out and everything for FIFA, and they've sent out some RFP requests, over the last, I don't know, well, last year. And um, where I could share it, where they said it was public, I sent it out. I shared it with people like, in other chambers. So, I'm going to share it with other chambers and hopefully they'll send it to their membership. I don't know how they plan to directly outreach to, other businesses or what their plan's going to be. I can find out and I will share with Marquita as soon as especially for FIFA, I will find out because that's the first event coming up. And then as we continue to have conversations with the next events, there'll be US Women's Open. And then for NBA All Star, I can ask to see if they're doing any additional outreach or if there's a portal. If there's a portal, definitely we'll share that information with you all so then you can join the portal.
Okay. I wanted to go back to this slide. I figured this is the one that should probably be up the longest so that
Yeah,
people.
and I just want to say real quickly, this is the challenge. And I put in the link of the link to the website, to Business Connect website, also to our major sports and entertainment events calendar that we just created and added to our website, just so you all can see the numerous events that are coming up, and maybe there's some other opportunities there for you. But this is where I have the biggest challenge, right? So the NFL, NBA, US Open, they hire these primes. Again, the primes, they already have a person, right? They got a guy. So I'm trying to make sure that I have a seat at the table to say, hey, let's talk about what you need now versus you just coming towards the end and saying, oh, here's a little contract for this, here's a little contract for that. I want to make sure not only are my suppliers, but just local businesses in general understand not only the number one, the process, right? Because a lot of folks don't understand the process that it's not the NFL that's going to call you, it's going to be on location or one of the primes. Um, and then they may subcontract out to a small business, and then that person may need help. So how do we get in between those first two steps? So that's what my goal is. Again, especially with event production, because you know, is a local diverse business going to produce the Super Bowl halftime show? Probably not. But if there's an opportunity for one of them to get a piece of that, if they can help in that regard, that's what I'm trying to get that seat at the table for those companies. So yeah, I see on there, it's discouraging. I saw the word discouraging. Yes, it could be very discouraging. The other part too is once are maybe get an opportunity with one of these organizations, there's a long process, right? And I even had some of my suppliers say, whoever jumps through the most hoops will get the contract. Well, that's part of it because, of course, they're covering themselves from a branding perspective, a company perspective. So there's a lot involved. And so just trying to make sure that our voices, and when I say our, I mean local diverse businesses, small businesses, have a seat at this table initially. That's what my main goal is, especially for these high profile events. And then we can talk about, the entertainment industry and then corporations later. The corporations are a whole other conversation. But that's another seat I'm trying to get to have conversations, especially since things are changing. So what does that look like moving forward?
Mm, That's a great answer, Simona. Thank you. David, I also want to let you know that we are currently working on some programming around proposal writing so that the folks who do this day in and day out can answer some of those questions about the list of items that you're going to need for an RFP. It's going to obviously change from entity to entity, but we want to make sure that you at least have those baseline documents. So look for that program coming up pretty soon. We're fleshing out dates for that. There was also a question about location. I do know that LA 28 is looking for very hyper local businesses, and I know Eric will talk about that when he does come and speak with us. So that, as Simona mentioned, that is programming that we're looking to calendar as well with how to do business with LA 28. As you can imagine, they are quite busy right now, but I've known Eric for quite some time, so hopefully I can kind of lean into our previous relationship and get him to get him on the calendar. So the question is, do the events with LASEC have that same hyper local expectation, LBEs in particular, or can someone who is in Orange County or just outside of Los Angeles County, would they be eligible for these opportunities as well?
For Business Connect, yes, we want you to be in LA City or LA County. But for the larger event, I'm sure there's no, as long as you have the capacity, you meet their requirements. And so that's again one of the things I'm trying to make sure that I'm clear on, so then I can share that out with the chambers that I have relationships with. So you can share it with your members and know exactly what they're looking for as far as eligibility to participate or to grant on a particular opportunity.
Thank you. Also, Heather just asked for the link to the interest form, and our Senior VP of Community Outreach, Mark Morales, provided that underneath your comment. So you have that as well. Um, oh gosh, you know what? I'm sorry. I realized I did update the website last night, and I apologize that I just remembered that when I did that, I forgot to fix the links. So I apologize. These slides and recording will be available to our small business supplier and founding members. So you would need to be at that level. The LAGLCC is a completely different organization, so that is not relevant to this conversation. So no, the answer would be no. Let's see, but there is a question. High security events will require background checks and immigration checks. Do you have any comments on this, Simona?
No, I do not. And no, I haven't heard anything as of late. If that changes again, I will let Marquita know. But as of late, haven't had any conversations about that.
Okay. I do apologize. I did this whole pitch for you to join the chamber and then didn't make it so that you could join the chamber. But if you, I'm gonna put my email address here. That just goes to show how how recently I was doing updates. I wanted to make sure that it was mobile responsive, so I had to do all this coding. And then I did all this coding last night and didn't put in the links, so I apologize. Okay, are there any other questions? If not, we can give you back a couple of minutes of your day, but you have direct access to the Simona Caldwell. So if you do have any questions, I recommend that you ask them or you use these remaining minutes to throw in your URL so that we can find out. I found out about so many great businesses in the chat. I'm very excited to get to know each and every one of you.
Yeah, just to confirm, I'm seeing the chat right now where it said that you went to the interest firm link and says it's closed. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in the program because we are first vetting this first round of folks, 200 over 200 businesses. So we're going through those first, and then we'll reopen the interest form period again in second quarter. So again, I'll let Marquita know when we reopen so she can share that information with you all so you can submit your interest form if you're eligible. But you are more than welcome to call or email if you have any questions or anything.
There is a question about if you work with clients privately on consulting.
Not understanding in what context. I mean, for LASEC, for Business Connect, for people that are consulting the businesses in the program.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you call me and we can talk about it more. My number's on the screen or send me an email uh, so we can get your question answered more specifically. Okay, great.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all so much for making yourselves available today for this program. Again, we will be providing you with more procurement opportunities. The state of California, the city of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles will be providing programming on proposal writing and so much more. And then we do have that scale program. One of the things that we do want to be able to do for you is help you get access to capital so that you can fund your contracts because that is a that is a very important part of this work. We do hope that you will support the organization that is bringing you this programming again. So sorry that I did not have the proper link for you, but I will follow up with each and every one of you. You're all amazing, and thank you for taking this decisive step towards growing your business. And with that, I think that we are done for today, and we hope to see you on Thursday at our networking mixer and then at our mega mixer next month. Okay, everyone. Thanks again so much. And thank you to all of you who told me that the chat wasn't working. I really appreciate it. And Simona, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You
Absolutely.
absolute rock star.
Yeah, anytime you need me or if you have questions, just let me know and I will definitely share whatever information I have with you also you can share it on with the
Great. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great, great, wonderful, wonderful day, and we will see you soon.
All right, take care.